I'm Tracy Perforce, a natural resource specialist with the BLM. Recently, Kinder Morgan CO2 Company submitted an application to construct a pipeline, also called a flow line, on Canyons of the Ancients National Monument, which is administered by the BLM, and on nearby private land. On private land, a surface use agreement has been negotiated between Kinder Morgan and the private landowner. The pipeline would start at an existing well called Sand Canyon 5, which is on the monument about 550 feet from Big Point Scenic Overlook. The BLM must decide whether to approve or deny Kinder Morgan's application, or to approve it with conditions. The BLM is also considering constructing recreation developments at Big Point Overlook in conjunction with the pipeline work. Because this is a complex project, we've created this video to give a tour and explanation of the project. The project is located in Montezuma County, Colorado, about 8 miles west of Cortez. It is within Canyons of the Ancients National Monument, which is shaded yellow, and nearby private lands. Canyons of the Ancients was established in 2000 to preserve the highest concentration of archaeological sites in North America, representing ancestral Puebloan and other Native American cultures. The monument proclamation guides the BLM to manage oil and gas development subject to valid existing rights so as not to create any new impacts that interfere with the proper care and management of these archaeological objects. I will present background information as I am the lead for the analysis on this project, which helps BLM make its permitting decision. At the end of the video, I will explain ways you can give input during the analysis. CO2 development on what is now the monument began in the late 1970s when the BLM leased federal minerals in the area for oil and gas development. In 1984, the first CO2 gas was delivered via pipeline to West Texas for enhanced oil recovery. The CO2 gas is injected into old oil fields where it acts as a solvent, pressurizing the reservoir, helping to remove oil from the pores of the rock formations. CO2 has been shown to double, and in some cases triple, oil production from these older fields, which is helping the United States meet its energy needs domestically. After 30 years of CO2 production, Kinder Morgan operates approximately 100 CO2 wells and 6 compression and dewatering facilities. About 60 are on the monument. The Sand Canyon 5 well was originally drilled in 1984, but was not put into production. This project, which includes road upgrades, well workover, and pipeline construction, would allow Kinder Morgan to put this well into production, allowing development of the leased federal minerals without the disturbance of drilling a brand new well. I'm standing at the access road to Sand Canyon 5 and Big Point Scenic Overlook. Kinder Morgan proposes to improve the road with gravel, grading, and drainage to allow construction and rig traffic to move along it during drilling. And here is an aerial view of the project. From County Road N, the Sand Canyon Access Road heads south toward the well pad and the Big Point Scenic Overlook. BLM lands are shaded in yellow, the road is purple, the well pad is shaded blue, and the flow line right-of-way is in green. The Big Point Overlook is marked red. I'm at the Sand Canyon 5 wellhead. Kinder Morgan proposes to rebuild the 2-acre well pad by removing vegetation and bringing in additional gravel to level the location. The Sand Canyon 5 well will be a re-entry where they'll drill a horizontal lateral into federal minerals to access the CO2. There will be no reserve pits, all fluids will be recycled, and the cuttings will be hauled off to a licensed disposal facility. We're at the Big Point Scenic Overlook. Right now there is simply a road to the overlook and this beautiful view of Ute Mountain and the Four Corners area. The Sand Canyon 5 well pad is about 550 feet north of here. Big Point Scenic Overlook is in the Mockingbird Mesa Rincon Special Recreation Management Area, which is managed for undeveloped recreation and to reduce user conflicts. Because Kinder Morgan's proposed road upgrades could increase visitors at the overlook, the BLM is considering an alternative where we provide a public access point and day-use only facilities as a launching area for dispersed recreation to accommodate that increased use. This could include such things as benches, interpretive signs, vehicle pullouts, and trailheads. Kinder Morgan also proposes to construct a flow line northeast of the wellhead to carry the CO2 to the Goodman Point compressor station. The flow line will cross approximately 1,100 feet of monument land and then will cross about 9,300 feet of private land on its way to the compressor station. This would create about 1.3 acres of disturbance on the monument and about 11 acres of disturbance on private land. The flow line will be constructed and buried within a 50-foot right-of-way that has been designed to avoid natural and cultural resources. Kinder Morgan has committed to conducting migratory bird and raptor surveys prior to disturbance if work would take place during the breeding season. They'll control weeds and stormwater over the disturbance area, and they'll reclaim the flow line right-of-way and unused portions of the well pad by leveling and reseeding the areas. And now we're at the end of the flow line for the Sand Canyon 5 well. The flow line will tie into the manifold behind me, and the manifold ties into the Goodman Point compressor station behind it. BLM will be conducting an environmental assessment of the project to determine the effects on the environment. So far, there's been extensive archaeological surveys of the project area. Kinder Morgan has designed the project so it avoids direct impacts to archaeological resources. We've also determined there is no habitat for any threatened or endangered plants or animals. There is habitat for two BLM-sensitive plants, the schmoll and the Natarita milkvetch. The area is not identified by Colorado Parks and Wildlife as critical range for big game species. Two ephemeral streams run across the project area. Before moving ahead with the environmental assessment, the BLM needs input from the public in order to ensure we analyze all aspects of Kinder Morgan's proposal. We encourage you to share specific issues or concerns while we analyze this project. For example, do you have suggestions for ways to make the project more environmentally friendly? What would you like to see happen at Big Point Scenic Overlook? Please provide your comments in writing to the address on the screen by the due date shown. Thank you for your interest in America's public lands.